You know, we're all here, and I think you mentioned it earlier. Wardy started off casting this, but he has commitments to Doyu Cup as he is the official English stream for that tournament. And they are currently clashing with this, unfortunately. So,
We
you know, he he
we
is.
we weren't aware of that initially as the semi started.
Yeah, we did panic a little bit, but that Wardy wasn't in the lobby. But you know, it's all good. It's all
Yeah,
good.
it's all good to know. And speaking of all good, Everdream LE, pretty good map. It used to be the shortest map in the map pool. Now it's a little bit overshadowed, but still. What are we going to be seeing? Well, for now, we're going to be seeing in the top right-hand corner of the map, spawning in the top right-hand corner of the map, the red Protoss coming down all the way from Seoul in Korea, chilling out in the Jinner house. Every other member of Jinner is standing behind him, cheering him on right now, as is Gemini, at least in his heart. And also here in chat as well. He is representing Jinner Green Wings Shagwa. We have the Wing Commander. It's Trap.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Everdream LE, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Shield of Fire, Nick Fury himself, representing Afrika Freaks. It is Stats.
Please. And I was actually wondering this recently. Why Stats, boys? Like, I mean, I don't disagree with it. I will proudly chant Stats Boys whenever I get the opportunity, but you know, why not like Dark Boys, right? Or like Byun Boys. Or if you want to think of Splice members, like Solar Boys.
Wasn't it just because of the emote?
I think it was. Yeah, but did Stats actually call his emote Stats Boys, or?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit unfortunate
I know
that,
Stats
you know,
Fighting. I know that's one of his emotes.
Unfortunately, you know, those were back when he was streaming on Twitch. That is no longer the case, as you know, you were mentioning earlier. He does now only stream on Afrika due to his new team.
It's a bit of a clause in the contract, but he can still appear on other Twitch streamers' streams, and that's a loophole that TY's been using, showing up on special stream.
Right. That's interesting. So yeah, like if you are interested in seeing more of Stats, you know, do check him out on Afrika. He does have his own personal streaming channel. Not too sure how often he streams because I don't usually check out Afrika. It's, you know, it's especially internationally.
It's
a little bit.
It's a little tricky for if you're in an IP address outside of Korea.
Yeah. Unfortunately, but you know, it is still viewable. It is still possible to use if you are so inclined to. And yeah, so far, you know, there's in this PvP no proxies and actually Trap being, you know, like really both of them expanding and taking their naturals. Like no one being too aggressive, unlike Zest versus Stats.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're talking about. And Trap, throughout all of 2019, and actually throughout most of his career, he was stereotyped as, you know, one of those defensive players, but I think Gemini was actually the one who wrote about it, that was what Trap was known for, and is still kind of what he does best, but he has diversified his play a lot throughout Legacy of the Void.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, we do kind of see that maybe even coming to fruition now as like Trap has become more prominent when it comes to the other Protoss players. Some of the other top Korean Protoss players, right? Like originally he was up there but not quite, and now like he's definitely being considered as one of the best Protosses, period. So it's kind of cool how he's kind of grown into like the player that he is now today.
Very much is. Yeah, steadily over time and whatnot.
Yeah. I like how we're both kind of just waiting for like some text structures to be thrown down. I mean, at least I feel it. There we go. Forges are being thrown down. Blink, the first tech of choice, coming out for Stats. Meanwhile, Trap hasn't quite decided on anything quite yet. Still sticking to, you know, his Robo and
Playing it out a bit more reactive, but he is going to be the first player to get this Warp Prism. So he's going to be looking to try to get some sort of harassment done. What units he'll use, that is going to be the question. And for now, it will be Adepts.
Yeah, for now it is Adepts, and honestly, Blink, nice choice from Stats. You are able to use it. We've talked about it in different matchups, right? You can use it defensively and offensively quite well. So, you know, Trap does have to be careful with his Warp Prism control, make sure it doesn't get sniped or anything of the sort.
He will, and yeah, it's gonna also come down a little bit to Stats' scouting and his vision on the map. But Trap actually isn't going straight into the main base. He is actually just gonna be dropping the load right outside the natural and trying to see if he can get some pressure up.
Yeah, and he was already able to snipe 2 sentries. He immediately shaded in, targeted them down. Despite the shield battery being there, it didn't have quite enough to save them from the Adepts, and actually gets 4 workers as well.
And keeping his Adepts alive, that is more than worth it. And he's actually just going to be committing to this. These Adepts are not going to make it out alive, but they are going to get a heck of a lot more probes because of that. And now Stats going to be on the back foot, and even keeps one of them alive. What a guy. That magic number 11. What a guy.
We see it once again. 11 probes of Stats do go down. At the same time, though, Stats is the first player to take a 3rd base, so that could come into play. You know, he will be able to rebuild his probes a little bit faster. And saying that, though, Trap isn't too far behind either with his own. And
he's got a heck of a lot more workers.
Yeah, and we do have. It looks like Trap is going charged out Archon.
Yeah. The most. I don't really want to call it standard, but this is the classic composition for a PvP. It's something that was experimented on in Wings of Liberty. It really, well, it didn't really become a thing in Heart of Swarm because, of course, it was Blink era, but yeah, it's something that Protoss players have always come back to because it's not a bad unit composition. Stats being very aggressive, going for that Warp Prism. He's not going to get it, but he does get it in the end. This Immortal, though, will be taken out, and I think this might just be enough here for Stats to start to turn the tables and potentially even get this 3rd base. But the shield battery does finish up right on time, and Trap is going to keep his 3rd base unimpeded. Will pay the price for that, though, in an Immortal and a Warp Prism.
As that was happening, like, yeah, the army for Trap, because he was taking up, was actually quite vulnerable, and Stats, he saw the opportunity, he blinked in, was able to take out that Warp Prism and the Immortal as well.
And I really like that Stats is just saying, yeah, I don't need no Warp Prism. I'm just gonna get a gateway right outside your base, and I'm coming in. This is Blink Stalkers. The Immortal is exposed, battery overcharge, really keeping this alive. And Stats is not gonna commit to that, just gonna be blinking on away.
Yeah, and that really showing us that if this was the previous patch, like, that Immortal would have gone down instantly. But here, like, defensively, Trap is able to just stay alive, but he's moving away from the shield battery.
He is moving far away out of the shield battery, and Stats just jumps right on in. Remember how we were saying that Blink was the most versatile upgrade in the game? Well, yeah, now you really get to see it in all of its glory. And these Archons are so trapped. But the Zealots are helping a lot. They are providing a lot of a buffer. This this foothold of Stats has been uncovered and will be depowered.
Yeah, Trap, he does eventually hold at his 3rd base. He does eventually push the army away, but Stats, he got a lot of value with nothing but Blink Stalkers. Like, he got so many gas-intensive units for them, and behind this, like, he was able to safely, you know, get his 3rd base up and running, drone up. To say the least, though, that Trap, he's also kept up in terms of his economy. So, yeah, Stats, he's been able to trade more efficiently, but, like, again, like, they're both looking pretty good when it comes to worker count.
Exactly. I think the story is that Trap can't afford to trade inefficiently there.
Yeah.
Where Stats, not so much. I mean, finally catching up in the worker supply, but he is still behind in a couple other areas, namely his tech and his army supply.
Yeah, his robot only just about to finish now. So again, like, Stats has been doing this without any Immortals at all, and Trap, he already has 3. Like, his army, like, if he pushes out, like, there's nothing but gateway units. And oh, the Zealot, run by! Oh, okay, never mind. It gets dealt with. It's fine.
Stats dealing with Zealots to Zealots. I like it.
Yeah. That cure match was kind of affecting me there, and I was kind used to seeing Trap whip it out. But here we have Trap pushing out with a pretty 3 Immortals and 3 Archons.
Yeah, and honestly, Stats right now has more Zealots, but he has no AoE. Trap is the one with the Archons. GG's call, and Trap very decisively is going to take that first game in what could very well be a sweep. That was pretty clean.
Yeah, Stats, like, he was doing a good job at, like, picking off units and keeping Trap busy, but at the end of the day, like, he had to do that, and he had to tech up behind it and try and catch up, and he just wasn't. Like, he didn't have any Immortals at all, he didn't have any Archons, just nothing but gateway units.
Yeah, that really shows you that there's not much to be done if you're going to be that far behind in terms of tech.
Yeah, like we just saw that here and now, and again, to be fair, like, Stats, he almost started to snowball, right? Like, at the third base of Trap, when he blinked in on those Immortals, like, again, if it wasn't for the shield battery overcharge, like, maybe Stats could have ended the game there, like, killing all the Immortals and then cleaning up all the gateway units, but due to that new feature in StarCraft, like, Trap was able to hold on, and, you know, GG.
G to the G. I do think that as shield battery becomes, the longer shield batteries in the game, I feel like a lot of players are gonna not just get more used to it, but also figure out ways to play around it, so to speak. We already see some players just prioritizing targeting down the battery and then going on their way and whatnot, but you know, that's still to be seen. And speaking of what is still to be seen, Trap coming up here in the top left-hand corner of the map. That map being Def, where we do see the red Protoss player coming down all the way from that Jinner house in Korea. He is trying to come up with a title, but I can't, I'm drawing blank. Representing Jinner Green Wings Jaguar, we have Trap.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Death Aura LE, we have the Korean Protoss player representing Afrika Freaks. It is Stats.
And again, no proxies as of yet.
Yeah, none as of yet so far. Both players, you know, just opening pretty straight up so far. They both have probes out on the map though, looking to, you know, potentially scout, potentially throw down a couple of cheeky pylons. Looking at you, Stats, he's actually, yeah, he's hiding his probe quite well here.
Right by the rocks, which is not where you'd necessarily, not where you guess a proxy to be at.
Yeah, we'll see what comes out of that pylon as Trap does go for the probe scout, does spot that indeed there is only one pylon here in the main base, and you know, he's just gonna chill in here, you know, keep an eye on things. Meanwhile, Stats throwing down a robo.
Alrighty then. We thought we were in for a more standard macro game, but yeah, Stats is proving that wrong, and there goes that Stargate.
Every time. That is,
I'm pretty sure that's a law at this point.
It is. Like, if it doesn't happen, then something is amiss in the world, you know, something's not quite right. And yeah, we'll see how this plays out, as we have seen this time and time again, and just like every single time we cast it, I can't quite remember who is favored, the Stargate or the Robo player. But
every time the answer is always the data is insufficient.
We just haven't had enough of it.
Yeah. Oh no. Now that you actually speak out the words, that means that we're just gonna see nothing but Robo versus Stargate for the next year.
I mean, that's what we've had so far. So I mean, it's just more of the same. And yeah, we'll see how this plays out, as we do have those Immortals on the way for Stats. Meanwhile, Stats, like, he's, you know, kind of completely walling off here in the main base, trying to deny scouting as best he can.
Yeah, but completely walling off. This should ring a couple of alarm bells into Trap's head. We might even see a recall if things go really bad. do like the shield battery on top of this ramp.
Yeah, and I'm concerned at the moment for stats, because this was one of the things that the shield battery overcharge was meant to counter, essentially, to stop these immortal pushes. And we'll see, like, he does have his immortal here.
And I'll raise your one even better, like, not just the battery overcharge, but the Phoenix, the crowd control, the immortals. Yeah, this is gonna be shut down.
Yeah, completely shut down. The Phoenixes are even chasing the Warp Prism away as well. They're going to be able to catch up and take it down. And stats, like, there's just nothing here left for him. The Warp Prism goes down.
Wow. I guess we can't say that Stargate is a little bit more favorite than Robo in these kinds of scenarios. And now Trap not going all in, just going to be using his Phoenixes to see if he can take out any damage here and there. Again, stats is fully walled off, so it's going to be a while before he gets his expansion.
Yeah, and like with this, like it's important to note that the shield battery didn't even come into play in that hold. Like it wasn't even finished when the immortal was pushing in and all of that transpired. Like Trap was able to just completely shut that down.
Yeah, all I'm taking away from that is that the shield battery is going to be full of energy and has a battery overcharge available to it if Stats decides to go for round 2. But it looks like Trap is going to be the one to really press the advantage. He knows how far behind Stats is, and he is going to be looking to capitalize on top of that. And as the saying goes, when behind, what do we do, Light?
We panic.
Well, in Stats' case, he is going to get that Dark Shrine.
He is getting that Dark Shrine, and that could be a saving grace, but there it is.
Trap on match point.
Wow, GG. And we've seen players here before. We saw Zest here in the same position where he was down 0-2 to Stats. And can Stats do what Zest did? Can he bring it back? Can he go all the way and take 2 in a row to go all the way to the ace match? Or is Trap just gonna completely clean sweep Stats? My God.
That's a possibility.
It is a possibility, judging by the way these games have played out. And again, I was very surprised by how aggressive Stats was that last game, especially because of those shield batteries. Like even if, like even if Stargate wasn't the tech of choice for Trap, like there was still that shield battery on the way. Overcharge would have still been used as well. Like there was just so much there for Trap to hold against that.
It really was. I'm liking how, yeah, I'm just liking Traps' I'm liking his scouting. I'm liking that, he's going around and seeing that, yes, things are amiss. I should be a little bit on edge, but not, you know, not quite panicking, and once he is able to confirm things, that's when he goes, all in on his defense. And speaking of, we are now on the Eternal Empire, Ile, which is quite a bit of a different map here, but yeah, we'll see how things transpire in the top right-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the top right-hand corner of the map. We have a red Protoss player coming down all the way from the land of Korea. He is the sweeper himself, looking to really clinch that title tonight. The wing commander coming down, representing generic Green Wings, Jaguar. We do in fact have Trap.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Eternal Empire LE, we have the Korean Protoss player representing a freak of freaks. It is Stats.
By the way, can we like mod Ryoma? Or like give him a sub or something? Just for saying, Classic is the best. I full-heartedly agree on that.
You reminded me, there was a period in, I think it was game number 1 where you said like Charger Archon is more classic, was more of a classic style, and I was gonna be like, yeah, like the Chintos.
Classic did do that. I mean, yeah, Classic did do a lot of that.
He did. He did, yeah. This is accurate. And we'll see how this plays out. We did see this earlier today, actually. I believe it was Stats who did this against Zest, where he kind of like quote unquote proxied outside his main base. I think it was a Robo at the time. But Trap looking to perhaps do something quite similar here.
I guess the terminology would be hiding your tech outside of your base. You know, not necessarily a proxy because it's not quite within the proximity of your opponent. But yeah, just keeping it hidden, making sure that when your opponent scouts you, there will be a couple of alarm bells going on, and best case scenario, they just full on panic and get a whole bunch of shield batteries and whatnot.
Yeah, it's like when a Terran like makes their racks like behind their natural mineral line, right? And you go for like a scout, you see that the racks is missing, you're like, oh my god, it's a proxy racks. But really, like the racks is, just there. So you know, it's about deception. It's about deceiving your opponent, and we'll see if that comes into play here, if Stats falls for it. And I was gonna say this earlier. We're back here, Yaku. We're back. We're in Eternal Empire.
Yeah, it feels like we've been here for an eternity.
We may as well have been, as when it comes to the length of the games that we've casted on this map, and we could see that again. I would hope so. Like when it comes to seeing both of these players, I kind of want to see how they shape up, like in a longer macro PvP.
Yeah, as long as we don't quite have the scratching our head scenario of the previous time we were on PvP on this map.
Maybe I don't want to see it. If I want Stats to come back in this series, maybe I don't want to see a long PvP. Stats, please. Especially against the Wing Commander Trap himself, kind of was known for his Stargate play, specifically his Phoenix play. But yeah, Stats with some questionable approach to that later PvP.
But for now, it will be Stats who's going for the Stargate, and interestingly enough, he's actually getting a Stargate and a Robo at the same time.
Oh, okay. Getting a little bit of everything here. Interesting. We'll see how that comes into play. As so far, neither player has taken that natural. Looks like Trap may be looking to be the first to do so. But yeah, Stats kind of keep him honest. Oh, actually commits. Gets the sentry.
Yeah, we'll be able to get a sentry. Oh, does not quite get the sentry. Hot pickup, but he will manage to get the sentry in the end. There's another sentry, but it's already been taken out here for Trap. And Stats is looking to go in. He has a very beefy Stalker count, but the Immortal is out now. And without Blink, without a Warp Prism, there's only Recall available. And look at that, only one Stalker makes it out of there alive. That was not at all a favorable trade for Stats.
Yeah, it's definitely depending on how you look at it, right? Like, there's a lot of value in those sentries that he was able to snipe, which is quite nice, but he did lose a lot of Stalkers for that.
He did, and yeah, now again, I'm just wondering what Stats' plan going forward from now is, because he's continuing to be aggressive with his Stalkers, but now Trap, he's looking to go for the counterattack, and it's looking like he might just end it here.
Yeah, he already has 2 Immortals, he has that Warp Prism as well, but there is a Phoenix out for Stats. Like, if he uses it defensively to try and ward away that Warp Prism, then maybe Stats can hold here at his main base. He has to be careful not to lose it, though.
Yeah, there are a decent number of Stalkers right now for Trap, even without Blink. It's not gonna be too much for Trap to focus his firepower on that Phoenix and take it out. And yeah, now it's kind of a slow siege forward into Stats' main, but meanwhile on the other side of the map, a couple of Stalkers do manage to make it into Trap's main base.
Oh, yeah, and he gets the sentry as well, and he actually gets into the main base, so damage will be dealt here on the other side of the map, forcing warp-ins on the other side as well, not utilizing that Warp Prism. But as that was happening, one gateway, the second gateway goes down as well for Stats, and ooh, recalls.
Yeah, really doesn't want to throw his lead, essentially.
Yeah, Trap playing this very cautiously. He takes what damage he can get, and he makes sure that he doesn't lose anything at home. So he really, as you were saying, he really wants to secure that lead. Meanwhile, Stats, he is expanding, and he's kind of on the back foot at the moment. Like, still, like, Trap has that larger Immortal count.
He does, and he can continue to be producing them. Stats, actually, I was gonna say, I'm a little worried for both our players that neither of them are really taking up beyond this, but Stats, he is gonna be the first one to do so. Gonna go for that Robo Bay, which Disruptors as a defensive unit, I actually kind of like it.
Yeah, definitely, but can he get there, though? Like, can he buy enough time for the Disruptors to come out as Trap? He's out here outside the natural of Stats and Stats. He has a couple of Phoenixes, and they can be quite useful, but the main army is just so large for Trap.
Yeah, one of these Phoenixes already being taken out, and whoa! Okay, that was quick. And Trap, the sweeper himself, not dropping a single map tonight, will be taking that ESL Pro Tour Championship 3-0 over Stats in the end. Trap is in form.
Wow.
That's all I really gotta say to that. That's my conclusion.
Yeah, Trap is definitely in form, and this time being the aggressor here, just continually pushing out across the map to Stats, and Stats, like, you know, I liked what he was doing with his Blink Stalkers. Like, he was finding damage, but at the end of the day, like, he just didn't have enough ground army at home to defend, and you know, he was taking up, but you know, that also meant that was money that he was investing in tech, right, and not in that in his base army, and also losing those gateway structures earlier, that also affects it, right? Like, he has less production, he has lower army, like, it all kind of came into play. And yeah, Trap, he just sweeps. He hasn't dropped a single game today.
I still don't believe it, Light.
And you know why? You know why he didn't drop a single map?
I have a feeling.
Why he just went all the way? It's because for the first time in a long time, his boy was watching him, was cheering him on from the beginning. He was in the chat. He was even playing in the tournament itself, like scouting out his opponent Zest.
Ooh.
It was Gemini.
Twas. And he's gotta be feeling pretty happy right now. Gemini does. Like, never mind how happy Trap is right now.
You're like, forget about Trap. This is all about Gemini right now. You know, like, he's gonna just be.
Okay, you can imagine how happy Trap is right now, right? Winning the first win that he's gotten in a long time. At least when we're talking about these online cups. Multiply that by like 100, and that's how happy Gemini is.
Yeah, that's exactly it, and I'm sure they'll be celebrating at some point, as Gemini, you know, he is living in Korea, and I'm sure they have met up quite a number of times. So yeah, GG, well played. Trap just completely sweeps his way to the finals, takes the win, and walks away with, what was it, 200 USD?
Yeah, 200 USD. This will be what? It's not winner takes all anymore, so, you know, Stats will be walking away with 100 USD, and Cure and Zest, they will be having $50 US each, so not too bad, but yeah, I guess the main thing with these ESL Cups is a mixture of a bunch of things, you know, like practice, being able to put your name out there, getting some fans, and, of course, always those ESL points.
Yeah, definitely. And we were talking about it before, like, again, these three Protoss, if you're a fan of Protoss, like, this is the tournament to watch every week. Zest, Stats, Trap, they all go back and forth on a weekly basis on who is more in form on that day of the week. And yeah, like, GG, well played. Trap does take the win, and yeah, like, it's just really impressive to see. Like, I don't think we've seen him look this good in quite some time.
Oh, we certainly haven't. I don't recall Trap clean. That's not what I meant.
I know, it's just. I know.
You know, yeah. I mean, you know, in the past, you know, we've had Trap. You know, Cure always giving Trap quite a bit of trouble there. Even the series that Trap was able to win, Cure always brought to the ace match. But this is Trap showing he understands his opponents pretty well. He's picked the right game plans. He has, yeah, he can be a very diverse player.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen that here showcased today. And yeah, we'll see how that comes into play, as I'm gonna take a wild guess here as I can't
I
quite remember the GSL groups, but Trap, he is in the next round?
I don't think so. No, yeah, he's
You
definitely
think
not
so?
in the next round. I believe he's in Group C or D, maybe B, but yeah, definitely not in A.
Oh yeah, he's in C. He's in C.
C, there we go. So yeah, next week is gonna be Trap's group, but this week it's gonna be Stats' group on Wednesday.
This week Wednesday is the foreigner group.
Ah, right. No, but Stats was in there, or was he not?
He is not.
Ah, all right. He got swapped. He got swapped with Buddy, I want to say.
I think he got sold for DRG, if I'm not wrong.
DRG.
I can't. Yeah,
Or
I
no,
can't quite
yeah,
recall.
wait, was it DRG?
I, all I know is that tomorrow, is it tomorrow? No, in 2 days, sorry, we will be having Group A of GSL. So if you want some more Korean StarCraft, do tune into that. It does start at around the same time as when ESL Open Cup started. It will be TY,
About an hour
Scarlet, an hour before, TY, Scarlet, Special, and DRG. And it's honestly, I'm excited because it isn't just Korean StarCraft, it isn't just the foreigners, but there's a decent chance that some of these guys can make it out. Scarlet and Special, they can definitely go toe to toe with a player like DRG, and we've seen Special take out TY before, so it's gonna be a great day of StarCraft.
Indeed, it will. But if that's gonna be too long of a wait, you can tune in tomorrow at the same time for ESL Open Cup Fueled by Dare. That will be the oceanic region of StarCraft. Again, we are kind of coming to the end of ESL Fueled by Dare tournaments, so the players are definitely bringing their all. They are trying to, clinch that victory that has eluded them, or in the case of someone like Probe, who's just come out of his exams, he will be looking to get even more championships.
Yeah. I guess a bit of an explanation is in order, because I don't know if a lot of people watching today are familiar with the OCE scene or what ESL Open Cup Fueled by Dare is. So there isn't ESL Open Cup for specifically the Oceanic and Southeast Asian scene. It's region locked, and it doesn't award EPT points, but it is organized by ESL. So it's it's this weird kind of hybrid situation. It is still winner takes all, so it's still a little bit cutthroat. And yeah, it's every single week. It's tomorrow, and we've been the official English stream for the entirety of the season. I say season because it is sponsored by Dare, which is an iced coffee company. They partnered with ESL, and they are locked in for 20 iterations, and tomorrow is number 16. So yeah, there's only 5 left, and after those 5, then we'll see if Dare decides to continue this or if they're done. And it's been great. Like I love the assets that we've made, the intros, like the theme that we have for Dare Cups, and I hope they're able to continue. It does kind of depend on the performance, like viewership and all that stuff when it comes to those tournaments.
So yeah, another reason to tune in tomorrow.
Yeah. If you're a fan of StarCraft, if you're a fan of the CranKy Ducklings, if you're a fan of that region, then yeah, do tune in tomorrow and show some support. We would really appreciate it. And speaking of, like, Yaku, would you like to tell the people where they can find more of you?
Twitch.tv/Yakuzaku1, Twitter.com @Empora Yakuzaku, !Discord in the chat, and you will get a link to the CranKy Ducklings Discord server, where I am in, as well as all the other members of CranKy Ducklings. Other than that, buy my shirts. Where can we find more of you, Light?
Light_VIP on Twitch and Twitter. I have been streaming almost every day recently. Just like fun ladder streams. Like, you don't expect any high level gameplay. It's just like Diamond Ladder, just trying to get back into Masters. But yeah, follow me on social media. We do tweets whenever we go live, and we go live typically here on the CranKy Ducklings. So yeah, do give us a follow here if you enjoyed the cast. We're live almost every day of the week. Now that NA Contender has ended, we are only live 5 days a week as opposed to the regular 6 days a week. So one less day. It does give us a little bit more time to rest. So we appreciate it. But yeah, I'm sure Yaku is showing the schedule at the moment.
I am.
Yeah. So you can
media's there.
Yeah. So you can see our social media on screen right now. You can see our weekly schedule. We have plenty of StarCraft if you're a fan of any of it. Korean, Oceanic, NA, Latin America. We have it all. We're live constantly. And yeah, thanks everyone for watching.
We will see you tomorrow.
Yeah, stay tuned as we're going to raid another StarCraft 2 streamer.
Bye.
Ciao.